Okay. So I unpaused the recording. Thank you for those that I got sick and yeah, last Thursday, I think it was starting last Thursday. Even I think on Wednesday I was feeling a little bit kind of fatigued and then like starting on Thursday, I kept waking up with um I know. Yeah, how am I gonna sing with that voice? Um, yeah, I kept kind of waking up with a bit of a sore throat, but then once I got up and started shaving and stuff, the sore throat would go away and I would have like just like a very minor kind of very minor congestion, maybe a little coughing, but very minor. And then on Sunday, it just kind of really ramped up. Um, Especially like around noontime and I got like a temperature and feverish kind of symptoms and yeah I thought I would wait until like 5 or 6 p.m. and see how I feel and actually I took some Tylenol and it did bring down my temperature from 101 to like 98 point 0.8 degrees or something, and which is more normal. But yeah, I just thought, well, just to be safe, let's, maybe just do this via Zoom. And yeah, um, I'm kind of thinking maybe let's do like the Zooming thing again for Wednesday. Um, I mean, for those of you that wanna, if anyone wants to show up, I think maybe, and I'll send like this recording, because like I'm sure not maybe necessarily everyone was checking their email or announcements yesterday, and so I thought, I'm gonna record it, and then uh, yeah, I'll send the recording in an announcement. But I guess for people that on Wednesday would like some one-on-one time, uh, let's see here. Because if we look at the scheduling, I did switch the screens to my syllabus, by the way. Um, yeah, and please let me know if you can't see anything. But let's see here. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, I need to go back to share screen. Sorry. Uh, okay, so share screen. Okay, so you should be able to see all this now. Yeah, I didn't have the share screen. Um, okay, all right. Yeah, so it's just scheduling wise, you see, let me see here. I have, I used to, I haven't done Zoom in so long. I used to have like a highlighter that, let's see, I think that might have been annotate. Let me see here. Spotlight. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Here's my spotlighter right there. But so for, yeah, sorry about my voice. But um, so for Wednesday, it says conferencing, and then we have holiday, thank God. And then for Wednesday, the 28th, we also have conferencing as well on the rough draft. And then the final draft is due on June 2nd. Um, so I'm kind of thinking, I mean, honestly, I probably will certainly, I mean, because that's in a couple days. I'm kind of thinking I probably would be better by then, but sometimes for these days, it's these dates, especially like the first date of conferencing, there's not a whole lot of people that show up. So I'm kind of thinking maybe just doing it via Zoom, like what we're doing. Oops, sorry. Yeah, what we're doing today. Yeah, might be Does that sound fine to you guys? If you want to maybe type your response. Let's see here. Oh, sounds good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Filiberto. Yeah, that's fine. Um, let's see here. Um, okay. I switched the share screen back to my class. So, uh, yeah, let me know if you can't see that. Um, let's see here. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's actually let me make sure. Yeah, yeah, okay. So we're recording. Okay. Kennedy Zamora, good God. I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, so we have Keith, Filiberto, Miranda, and Kennedy. All right, so I'm going to go back to share screen, and I guess let's just look at like those people that did the outlines that are here. Uh, let's actually take a look, and then let's move on from there. So what we'll do is let's look at the outlines, and then let's see if you guys have any questions. Now, ordinarily, um, well, like let's see here. If you're able to actually verbally discuss, I know Keith, you're in the library, um, but if you're able to verbally um, engage with me, then just you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, so like Marissa, let me get my roster here. And remember, guys, this is your last portfolio task. Not portfolio, but participation task. Let's see here. So, Miranda, hi, Professor. I'm not quite finished with my outline yet. I am almost done. I understand it will be late. Just wanted to let you know. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Miranda. All right. So, Marissa, I will give her typed feedback since she's not here. Okay. So, Neil, yeah, Neil also is not here, but I'll give him typed feedback. Haley, yeah, okay. So Filiberto, um, let's see here. Filiberto, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I could talk.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can talk. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, Filiberto. So I got my spotlighter here, and you misspelled my last
Yeah,
name.
yeah. I already like turned it in, and I saw that, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Let's see here. Let me just move these things out of the way. Okay. All right. Um, actually. Actually, make it a little smaller. Okay. All right. So you got your thesis statement. So we'll take a look at that together. And you have a breakdown of like main points. Um, so let me just kind of eyeball what you're doing, and then we can look at some particulars. Very good. Very good, Filiberto. Yeah, excellent. Well, this definitely would be something that I would give extra credit to. Filiberto has multiple pages of breakdowns. He has complete sentences and, citation. So, yeah, thank you for doing all that, Filiberto. That'll be helpful for all of us to look at together. Um, okay, so let me just make sure. Let's see here. Let me get your journal crediting. I'm sorry, not journal, but the, um, the outline crediting. Okay. Um, so what were you, let's see here. Yeah, what was maybe if you could share what were some interesting bits of information you were finding out in your research regarding a dollhouse?
Um, well, well, some part that really caught my eye was when I was trying to. One of my topics was about how like about women and education and how like they're really like blinded from it and hindered from getting like the most education.
Hmm.
And one of the sources was talked about how there was like a I forgot that the name of it, but it was called like the UTS something, and basically it was like a movement to try to get like more better pay and better working conditions for women.
Uh,
And then when I read it, it said that they looked for like other help from other organizations and like other like male type of organizations, and that the males they didn't really care to help them at all. And I used that for I think it was my third like my main point three yeah point three.
uh-huh.
If you like, if you want to like scroll down, I used one of the quotes from that source, and I just kind of talked about it. But I
Mhm.
found that pretty interesting.
Very good. Yeah, thank you, Filiberto. Yeah, very good insights right there. Yeah, okay, let me see. Let me get you for the verbal. Okay. Um, Now see here, guys. Yeah, like with Filiberto, he's really created a lot of content that he really can just bring over into his essay draft. Um, Now, say for example, with something like main point three, in looking at it, let's see. So early women's movements, trouble being heard. Yeah, so I really like how with this like main point that he, you know, addresses like historical context, something that was happening at the time, and then like a trend at the time, and then he links that with an element of the play. And so that's like really good. If you guys can do that from point to point, that'll really be kind of hitting the mark of what you want to try to achieve. And right, and then so he is focusing on the struggle to be heard. He has supporting evidence for that. And then an observation. Yeah, so very good. Very, very good. Um, and women had to leave their family in order to become free. So it's kind of like here. So the way he's divided it is it's sort of, based on the point that he's making, the way that he's divided it is the first subpoint deals with the real world, like during the 19th century. And in this case, talking about like the role of unions in women's lives. And then here in the second subpoint, he's connecting it to the real world. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The first subpoint's the real world. The second subpoint is the world of the play, so the fictional world. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the world of the play. Yeah, so that's very good, very well thought out. Um, Now, um, potentially, like all of this, ah, where's the main point? Okay, yeah, so potentially all of this, maybe it could be a paragraph, and basically with him just adding more like analysis. Or it could be two paragraphs, right? Like it could be maybe like when talking about that portion where it's the real world, that's its own paragraph. And then he transitions, and then he talks about the play as it relates to that. So, it could be either or, really. let's see here. Let's maybe look at the first main point. So looking at the marriage and right, that's good. Yeah. And then basically like supporting evidence with a secondary source to back it up, and then you have observational stuff. Yeah. And then yeah, see, notice what he's doing here, guys, is he has like interaction with a secondary source and then interaction with a primary source. Yeah, so Filiberto is like really kind of hitting all the marks of what you'd want to do. Yeah, now a question though is in maybe Filiberto's mind is should this all be one paragraph? Should it be several? Let's see here. Okay, so it's talking about the marriage, right? Sacrifice, Christ-like figure. Hmm. Still we're the ones to blame. Yeah, so like with what you're saying about men being a Christ-like figure, that men were seen in more of a divine kind of light, whereas women were not. They were more uh, seen as more of like a secondary character in the relationship. Let's see. Right, being referred to as a doll. Yeah, well, I definitely think that, like here, oh, yeah, okay. That's your second main point. Um, yeah, I could, like with your first main point, I could see maybe two different paragraphs where one is looking at that whole, like, this Torvald showing no loyalty and the fact that, like you're saying, he's like this Christ-like figure. Um, let's see here. And then the whole women being seen as a pet. Yeah, like that could be. Yeah, so I definitely think that I think it would be good if you divided it into two different paragraphs based on the two different subpoints. How does that sound, Filiberto?
For the main point one.
Yeah, like I think, and I think I gave similar advice to like that third main point that you could divide it into like two different paragraphs.
Yeah,
Like subpoint one would be its own paragraph, and then subpoint two would be its own paragraph.
yeah, I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
How about
and
point two?
yeah, yeah. Let's
Because
see.
I don't know. I feel like that one I had kind of trouble with, like kind of setting up.
Women were living in a man's world meant to benefit men and keep women. Yeah, see, very good. Yeah, really good topic sentences. Let's see here. Society and work. Um, earn her own money. Yeah, so basically here talking about the notion of a woman being potentially a breadwinner, um, men having full control over the money. So that all relates. Yeah, this does seem cohesive. Um, yeah, basically, yeah, all of this relates to um, this point that you're making about who is the breadwinner and who potentially could be the breadwinner um, and maybe looking at like causes as well. Um, let's see here. Men were more controlling in that regard, blinded, hindered by education and knowledge. Oh, that's good. Yeah, well, that could be two paragraphs too. Let's see here. Oh,
You think?
I think how here you're talking about like education,
Yeah.
hindered by education. So I think like this maybe Um, well, I was gonna say maybe bring like this down to the second main point, but edu if I'm trying to earn our own money, limited to low-paying jobs. Oh, and that's maybe because of the lack of education. So maybe actually, let's see here. Maybe like it could be reordered a little bit where like here you're starting out with like women's limitations and then the man being in control, right? So maybe it's like women's limitations and then this continues that idea of women's limitations. So maybe bring those two together. So like you first talk about women's limitations and then and maybe that's like its own paragraph. And then you talk about I guess like here a man being in control. And that could be its own paragraph, like following that. Yeah, how does that sound?
Yeah. So yeah, you think I should each of my subpoints should be like different paragraphs? You think I'll be better?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Oh yeah, because I was thinking about like combining them, but yeah, I think it would just be better if I just focus on each paragraph and
yeah,
just yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Okay. No, yeah, but very good. Let me just make sure. Um, okay, I was going back to the share. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I get paranoid. Did I unpause the recording? Yeah, no, it's been unpaused. Um, yeah, let's actually take a look at your thesis. Let's see here. Um, taking place in the 19th century illustrates. Oh, one thing is you actually could just delete the in because if you have the in, then it's what you create what's called a mixed construction because it's like you have a transitional phrase. It's actually a couple phrases, and then you have your verb of the sentence, but there's no clear subject because, like what's the object of a preposition can't be the subject. So this is an easy fix. Just delete the N and
All right.
just say Henrik Ibsen's play. You don't need to capitalize the P. Play a dollhouse, um, taking place in the 19th century, illustrates the realities. Let's see. Yeah, so what's the spelling? So that should be a V. Um, that's an interesting differentiation that it's, on the one hand, you have, women in general, but then also like wives as well, specifically. Um, can find it to fake marriages. Yeah, very good. I like that. Only for men. Oh, very good. Yeah, whatever I was pointing out was just editing issues, but let's see here. One thing, I think it's like a very good thesis. One thing maybe you could do is have like an although element where you acknowledge like the progressivism of the time, you know. Uh, yeah, so maybe like here, you could have like an although, and maybe point out a positive of the progress that women were making, but then as you're kind of emphasizing ultimately, they were still confined.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I would say with the thesis. Um, let's see here. Let's actually take a look at your citation. And this will be like a good kind of general benchmark. Um, Okay. So first of all, with his works cited, he does have alphabetical order. Okay. Make sure to cite the play, guys, as well. And actually to cite the play, okay, so I switched the screens and I'm in at my syllabus. Okay. So if you go to page one of the syllabus, you see here how I have all of the uh, like the info for the anthology. So really all you would need to do is take this info, like you can copy and paste. And then, yeah, I think so. You would want to create like a work in an anthology. So it would be like Ibsen, Enric. Let me see here. Um, Get this out of the way. Sorry, I'm just moving things around here. Uh, Maybe I'll just copy and paste it on the page. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. So with the works cited, let's see here. Okay, so I've copied and pasted. So this is just to create the entry for the play itself. So what I would need to add is, Ibsen, comma, Enric. And I'm going to de-italicize that, but if you're thinking of it as a principle of, oh, it's a play, but in this case, it's in the anthology, it's a smaller work within a larger work, so surrounded in quotes. Um, Oops. All right. Let's de-italicize these. Okay. And then, so the only thing I would need to do is double space and do the hanging indent. So let's double space. And then the hanging indent, if you're doing a Word doc, you go to that middle button, go to special, oop, hanging. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So guys, and those of you looking at the recording, that would be for the play itself.
Wait,
Oops.
yeah, I can't. We can't see the.
Oh, you can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. Let's see. Share. Yeah, please let me know if I switched, but then you can't see it. Okay, so you should be able to see it now. Yeah. You can see it, Filiberto?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but so that's what it would look like. And that was what I was noting was I was taking that from just page one of the syllabus, like the Intel. But yeah, remember to do that because some students they forget to do that. Um, Oops, am I spelling Enric right? Let me see here. Um, oh yeah, I was spelling. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, right. Enric is without a C. I misspelled it. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's basically for the play itself. And then I guess technically, if you want to be really thorough, because it's a print source, putting like the page range that it appears, in your that it appears like in your you know, anthology, you could do that. If you forget to do that, that's not like a big error. Okay, let's see here. Let me, okay. Okay, so we're going back to Filiberto's outline. Um, let's see here. But yeah, so yeah, just remember to include the play itself. Because obviously, like we saw, you do cite from the play. Um, well, anyway, we saw that earlier. Okay. Uh, I think everything else seems okay. Okay, so here you are flipping the name. You would want to put a comma there, and then the middle initial, you put it after Kristen. Um, yeah, these look okay. I guess this one is a little like just bring it like it. There's kind of a space here, but yeah, I mean that's like a minor issue. Um, but yeah, in general, this looks pretty good. Your title mechanics, quotes around essay titles, italics for the journal title, those look fine. Um, yeah, okay. Now let's look at how you're citing within. Let's see here. Okay, so Ibsen, yeah, see. And also, if you could cite by page number, that would be really good instead of act. But yeah, so Ibsen, yeah, you would want to have a listing for that. Um, okay, so Paradise. Uh, that period you could just take out. And oh, did you mean to put NPAG? Yeah, the no pagination, and then you forgot the N.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Paradise. Yeah, good. Very good. So that matches up. Let's see here. Okay, Moss and Wilson. I'm just going to try to remember. Um, okay, so Dorish, Moss and Wilson, Paradise, Slavin. Let's see here. Yeah, Moss and Wilson. So see, guys, how that matches up. Um, Dorish, yeah, that matches up. Now that period, actually, that should go at the end. Yeah, so always remember, guys, that when you have a parenthetical citation, the period goes at the end. Moss and Wilson. Yeah, just remember when you're doing the NPAG, yeah, just do like N period, PAG period. Um, let's see here. Slavin. Yeah, no, yeah, these look really good. Yeah, so citation wise, everything matches up. Just watch some of those minor errors, like, periods would go at the end. If you mean to say no page numbering, then it have the N period, PAG period, or PG period. Okay. Yeah, very good, Filiberto. Thank you so much for your efforts. Uh,
All right. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so Keith, I know you're in the library, but we'll just take a look. Let's see here. Okay, so he's got his thesis, which we will take a look at. Um, he also has complete sentence breakdowns. Very good. Let's see here. I can try my best to keep up and type. Oh, yeah, if you want to type any comments, please feel free to do that, Keith. Um, like what you would have said verbally. Yeah, no, very good. Yeah, you guys, you're doing a really good job with the outlines. Yeah, yeah, very nice. Yeah, well, I'll give you extra credit as well. Um, let's see here. So, shield, let me just make sure I've got you. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's actually take a look at Maybe we'll look at one of his breakdowns and see, should that be all one paragraph or should it be several? Yeah, that's good. The dull wife. He's got support for that. Her world revolves around Torvald. She's very independent or dependent on him. Still dealing with patriarchal control, revolutionary. Yeah, again, I think kind of similar. I think, the two subpoints, those could be their own paragraphs instead of like thinking like main point one, like all of this, you know, up to here would be all one paragraph. I think you could divide it into two, right? And then you look at her character arc based on belief. Yeah, good. Very good. Good word choices. Let's see here. So what Keith is noting, one thing I will say is that for my third main point, my first support is quite long, and I'm curious how I could shorten that and take only the info I need for subpoint one. Um, okay, let's see. So let's look at the third main point. Okay, so Nora's rebelliousness, um, real stories. Okay, right. So basically looking at the real world influence. Yeah, that's good. Centers on the married life. Great quote. I would probably say maybe like the real world inspiration, let's have that as its own paragraph. And then um, let's see here. And then maybe when you talk about like the marriage and her rebellion within the marriage, maybe that can be its own paragraph. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Um, reflects the universal struggle for personal liberation. Maybe potentially that could be its own paragraph, like where you're looking at this. Yeah. See, something like that, I would kind of have to see, like if you wanted to show me like a draft, um, and we could look at that together, and that's where I could see that, oh, see, like in this paragraph, yeah, it's really tight, the focus. Or yeah, in this paragraph, I kind of see like you could divide it here and here. But yeah, that's something I would have to like visually see. But I'm kind of thinking, yeah, like the way I was noting, where you have one paragraph on the marriage, well, excuse me, one paragraph on the real life influence with, the Keeler, um, uh, into that person offering inspiration. And then you have like a paragraph on the marriage itself. I guess like how some of those ideas manifest itself in the marriage. And then, let's see, and then maybe this notion of a universal struggle for personal liberation, like that could be its own paragraph too. Um, yeah. Let's actually look at your thesis statement. It reflected on rigid gender roles while its meaning continues to be. That's pretty decent. Let's see. I'm wondering if maybe you even need that. Because doesn't this kind of say the same thing as that? I think you probably could just delete that. Um, Period reflected on rigid gender roles. Well, I would say, okay, modern expectations. Yeah. I would definitely make sure that you're developing that, by looking at present day, if you're going to say that. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, which you do. You do that. So yeah, then yeah, that relates. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I would just say I think delete this because it's just kind of redundant of that. Um, maybe what you could do is instead of this, maybe itemize one or two of those rigid general roles. Like you could say for reflected, I don't think you need the on. You could just say it reflected rigid gender roles, and then you could say such as, or like especially, and then you could itemize one or two of them. Um, and then let's see here. Maybe the while, put that in the front because we're going to delete this. So take the while and then put it in the front. I think that would be like a good strategy. So that way you have a dependent clause that introduces the main clause. Oh, itemizing just means that you're kind of listing or pointing out. Um, let's see here. So, like for example, like what's okay, like just drawing from what you're saying, the doll archetype, that you're pointing out, that would be like itemizing one of the rigid. Oh, did you? I think you might have meant to say rigid gender roles instead of general. So I would change that to gender. Yeah, okay. But that's, like maybe defining one or two of those roles. That's what I mean by archetype. Let's see here. Gender. Oh, such roles like the housewife. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, like if you said that. Yeah, like itemizing the housewife. Okay. Let's take a look at his citation. Okay, so he's got alphabetical order, but yeah, just make sure to list, and interact with passages from the play. Um, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so just always remember, guys, be consistent. Like when you flip a name, like you have the comma there, but have it there too. Yeah, okay. That looks pretty good. I guess you probably found this online too. So have the URL. Okay. Other than that, add like um, let me stop share and then go to, yeah, yeah, just make sure to, list the play as well, just like this. Let's see here. Oh, the date accessed. Let me see. Let's go back to yours. Let's see here. Okay. I would say, well, you do have a publication date, so you don't have to put the date you access. So you can. I mean, you certainly can, but if you're going to do that, yeah, just do like you did up here, where it's like date of access, or oh, excuse me, that's not the date. That's the publication date. Um, oh, okay, yeah, like what you did here. Yeah, if you guys are gonna put the date that you accessed it, then oops, damn it. Yeah. If you put the date you accessed it, then just make sure that excuse me, you put the URL as well. Yeah. See, like here you do both, and then here you need that. You can just, as far as date of access, you can just put today's date is fine. Let's actually see how he's citing within. Let me try to remember. So Alfonseca, that name, Bayet, Paul. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, good. See, guys, that matches up. And he's got that NP, no page numbering. Yeah, good, good, good. Very good. Yep. Yeah, see how you set the play. So obviously make sure to list it. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, buy it. Yeah, these look good. All righty. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, Keith, very good job. And I will credit you for some verbal as well. Yeah, so Neil, are you able to unmute yourself? Oh yeah, you're welcome, Keith. Actually, let's see here. Oh, Miranda, can you unmute yourself? Let's see here. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, Miranda, can you hear me? Are you able to either Miranda or like Neil?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Neil. Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Let's see here. Yeah, Miranda, feel free to type like if you're able to unmute yourself. Yeah, you can note that. Let's see. Okay, so Neil, let's look together.
Yeah,
Um,
um I I I just started writing the paper. I that was my mistake. I didn't do the thing that everyone else did.
oh, okay, okay. You have the draft.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will. I'll give you credit for having done something, so it's not like I'm missing. Um, yeah. What were some interesting pieces of information you're finding, like in your research?
I wanted to focus on the dance.
Uh-huh.
And so I looked in on the origin of the dance.
Uh-huh.
I guess like they is inspired by like when people get bit by tarantulas and they start kind of going like crazy and they have like
Oh, Lord.
I wrote this thing in there. I have to cite it still. So I just want to write everything down, but I'm gonna go back and cite it. Um but yeah, I thought that was interesting and I guess like it was like a ritual or something and they just dance to get like the poison out or something like that. And
Uh-huh.
I wanted to make the essay surrounded by that dance and like her pain like manifesting like physically.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's really good.
Thing.
Is her husband the poison that she's trying to remove?
I was kind of gonna say like her husband's like oppression and also like a
Yeah.
patriarchal expectations on like women instead of like the tarantula poison that's like the poison inside her that's making her dance.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, very good. And I guess maybe it would be interesting to maybe look at like initially, is she even aware of like how her marriage or Torvald's presence in her life itself is like poisonous? Is it a situation where maybe she's not aware of that and then she becomes aware of that through like, especially like her relationship with Christine, and then obviously the revelation in Act Three where she sees how Torvald reacts so unreasonably. and then yeah, that basically she realizes that he maybe has that poisonous influence. But yeah, so there could be like that element too, like in your discussion, that like layer as well. um
Yeah,
but very good, yeah, really good, Neil. Let's see here. Let's see what you let me make this a little bigger. Okay. Or actually, I can, yeah, there we go. So you actually have an intro set up. Let's look at, yeah, so just remember title mechanics, you want to capitalize the H,
okay,
and then I guess put it in quotes.
okay.
Um, okay, so he gives a little bit of background, challenging societal norms. Yeah, that's good. Comes in mind, dances. Okay, right. So, like you were talking about the symbolism of the dance, uh, does not
I
fully
thought it was
grasp.
an interesting part. I
Yeah.
and I feel like I kind of passed by really quick, so I kind of just wanted to write about that one.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I think this is a really good, nice, creative intro setup. You establish historical context, and then you zero in on a play element, which is really interesting. And then, you have like your thesis statement. Um, yeah, looks really good.
Thank you.
Just watch out maybe certain editing things like spelling.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. And also, and guys, so far it seems like um, there hasn't been too much of that tendency, but just keep the pronouns like third person, he, she, they, it. Avoid like the I or me or my or you or we. Yeah, just keep it more third person.
Okay,
Um, yeah, just make sure to cite. Like when you're citing from the play.
yeah,
Um, So you'd have like Ibsen and page number in parentheses. And then, yeah, I would say it seems like from what I'm seeing, you have some good trains of thought that, make sure you're incorporating the secondary sources.
yeah,
Yeah, and right at the works cited. Um, I would maybe other trains of thought you could look at. Like the role that Krogstad plays, and how about like Christine or Anne Marie?
okay,
Yeah. But yeah, you got some good trains of thought going there. All right, so that's Neil. Okay. Um, let me see here. Let me stop share for a sec. Miranda, are you able to unmute yourself? Are you with us? Yeah, okay. Um, Okay, well, let's say so. I think those were like really good examples to look at. And let me let's look at what's the deal for the upcoming meetings. Let me just blow my nose, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording. Oh shoot, damn it, I didn't unpause the recording. The recording was paused. Okay, well, those of you that are looking at the uh, the recording and you didn't attend, what I was doing, I'll just real quick, like what I was noting is I was just going over the announcement. Okay, so just read this carefully. Make sure you're abiding by the tips on avoiding a DRNF, like make sure you're meeting page length, make sure you're meeting the minimum source citation criteria, and then, you know, like your citations or the formatting is proper. Um, have a, reasonable balance between citation and response. But like I said, if you're doing those things and, you should, unless there's a lot of writing, like grammar mechanical errors, you should be getting a decent grade. And like I said, May 21st, we'll just do it via Zoom. And then the 28th, I will be in person as far as if you want to bring a draft. As far as the whole sign up thing, I mean, if you want to email me, that, hey, Mr. Nair, I'd like priority on the 21st or the 28th, you could do that. Or those of you that are here, um, yeah, like Neil, Keith, Filiberto, Miranda, um, are there any of you here where you want to make note that that you'll have a draft that you want to look at on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll work more on my what I have, and then I'll definitely have it ready by Wednesday. That's cool.
Okay, okay. So you could then upload it to that same basket where you would upload the final draft.
Okay, okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
And just make sure though that sign in where it's like at 8:20, you're there.
Yeah,
And yeah, because so what I'll do is like if I sign in and I'll wait like 20 minutes, but I'll kind of sign out if no one's signing in.
okay.
Um, but yeah, so just yeah, word to the wise. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all righty. Okay, well, I guess I think that should be that. Did anyone else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, so just to clarify, on Wednesday, class isn't like mandatory, but if we have like our own,
No, 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 it's not mandatory.
so yeah, if we have our own rough draft, we should like bring it in, or we can bring it in.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all right, that's cool.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, yeah, well, that was, I felt like that was really productive and I made it through with my voice and everything. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and stop the recording. So, and then I will send just a follow-up announcement once it's ready. Usually it's ready like I don't know, it takes like an hour for me to get an email with the link. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, take care of yourselves. All right. And yeah, thank you for adjusting. Yeah, thank you, Keith. Have a great day as well. Yeah. And you take care, and I hope you do well on the paper. Okay.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, see ya.